What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Bigbabyjonathan. Welcome to the latest edition of the Bigbabyjonathan Sports Podcast. On today's show, I'm going to be talking about Kobe Bryant being in the Hall of Fame and what era of basketball do I like to watch, or what era do I think that is the best of all time. But first, let's get on into the Hall of Fame. Congrats to Kobe Bryant. Congrats to Kevin Garnett. Congrats to Tim Duncan. Congrats to Timmy Catchings. Congrats to Reed Tomjanovich. Well deserved of the Hall of Fame, man. You guys deserve it. You know what I mean? But this Hall of Fame is a really special one, and that's unfortunate. Kobe Bryant won't be speaking at his Hall of Fame. You know, it's crazy. You know, we would have thought he would have been speaking and stuff, and it's crazy he's not. But he scored so many points, 643 points of all time, 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-Team, 11X First Team, 12 All Defensive Team, 9X First Team, 5-time champion, 4-time All-Star MVP, 2-time scoring champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and yeah, man, Kobe Bryant deserves. Reading all this to you guys, man. This is a Hall of Famer, most definitely, man, well deserved. You know, am I surprised he's in the Hall of Fame? No, I'm not, because I already knew he was gonna be in the Hall of Fame. You know, just like his demeanor on the court, his passion, his hustle, his grit, his grind, and he's just very passionate about what he does. He likes to win regardless, you know. He don't take nothing. Like, he doesn't like to lose. You know, even when he retired, he did his book. He won an Academy Award. He done other things, wrote children's book, had podcasts about it. You know, Kobe Bryant is a winner on and off the court, you know. And that's the thing about this Hall of Fame. It's going to be packed in Springfield when they have the Hall of Fame in August. And here's the other thing, too. Who's going to speak at Kobe Bryant's Hall of Fame? It's going to be tough, man. You got Shaq, you got Michael Jordan, you got LeBron, you got Vanessa Bryant, you got all these athletes. I wonder who's really going to take the time and energy to put a script together and speak in front of the people at the Hall of Fame. For me, man, I don't know. If you ask me, who do you think should speak at Kobe Bryant's Hall of Fame? For me, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one, you know? Like, at the end of the day, like, who knows who's going to be speaking at the Hall of Fame for Kobe, you know? We just have to wait and see. But, like, overall, man, Kobe, it will be missed tremendously. Like, he's a great all-around, one of the best, for me, greatest Laker of all time. I don't care what anybody says. That's just my opinion. I know you guys got Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Shaq, all these players on the Lakers back in the day. But for me, Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. Just his demeanor, his passion for the game. You know, like when I do my podcast, because a lot of times Kobe Bryant would watch film on certain games when he had mistakes on. That's what I do for this platform. Watch my podcast. What can I do to get better? And I use that to my podcast. And I want to thank Kobe Bryant for inspiring me every time, each and every podcast, man. I'm gonna miss you, man. It's gonna be emotional that night. You know what I mean? Just like today, they're on NBC7. They're replaying Game 7 of the NBA Finals versus Boston. That game right there, was one of the best of all time for me. You know what I mean? But like, I'm gonna implement this. My top 5 greatest Kobe Bryant moments. Number 1, like I said, them beating Boston Game 7. You know, even though that game was tough, it was stressful, but Kobe had 23 points, shot 6 for 24. A lot of people, the haters, say, oh, he had a bad game. Okay, he had a bad game, but he did drop 23 points and got 15 rebounds. You know what I mean? It's not all about scoring. In the Game 7 NBA Finals, you can do little things, stuff like the passing lane, rebounds, block shots, take charges, you know, play that tough defense. It may not show on the replay, but there'll be a possession where Kobe locks somebody up and you don't see it. You know what I mean? But we see it as fans, but people that, the replay people that run replay, you know, what I'm trying to say is you can do little things without scoring or, you know, Kobe. I know that game, by Kobe's performance, everybody's like, it was one of the worst he performed. No, it wasn't. He dropped 23 points and 15 rebounds. Timely assist. You know, timely assist in the NBA Finals with the Ron Artest. You know, it's like, I don't get why people always have to hate on Kobe back then. But now it's all love. Like, All the haters that hate on Kobe now have love for him and stuff. But for me, man, that's number one on my list. For my top 5 Kobe Bryant moments of all time, man. Like just the way we came back. We were down like 15 in that game, and we started to make timely defensive stops. Phil Jackson did a good job coaching that game. Derek Fisher stepped up big time, and I really liked that game 7. Ron Artest hit a crucial shot in the fourth quarter. Just overall, man, that was a good game. Number 2 is 81-point game. 81-point game for me is up there. Because I remember where I was watching it in my house in Palm Springs, California. And y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I remember having pizza that day. I had pizza, wings, and soda that day. And I remember I was like, man, let's hope Kobe has a great game today. 81 points. 81 points. That was really, 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 really a fun game. He was unstoppable. Like if Phil Jackson didn't take him out with like 5 minutes left, I guarantee Kobe would at least score 80. 81 he had at the time, probably 90 at the best. Because Kobe was on a mission that night. Just 81 points. Like who would have thought Kobe Bryant scored 81? But for me, I'm not surprised because Kobe's a scorer. He gets in rhythm. He hustles. He grits. He grinds. Like I'm telling you right now, you know how Wilt Chamberlain has that 100-point game. Kobe Bryant has the 81, and you got Devin Booker for 70. All those records, I don't know who can beat the 100 points or 81 points in the NBA. I don't know who can beat that record. You know what I mean? Just overall, Kobe, that was my second favorite moment of Kobe. 81-point game versus Toronto. Love that energy from him. Just his ability to get to the rim at ease. You threw Jalen Rhodes at him. By him. You threw, who else did you throw at? Who else did Toronto throw at him? Marcus Peterson by him. Easy. Just all people. That's the one thing I like about Kobe Bryant's game. When you try to double team him, he can still score on you. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how Kobe Bryant, when people think that, oh, he's a ball hog, he's this and that, he's not a ball hog. He's a scorer. That's what you're supposed to do as a scorer. Just like you have a point guard. Point guards facilitate. Just like centers, they block shots, run the floor, rebound. Just overall, Kobe Bryant's 81-point game was second to me up there. Second right now. He's second on my favorite Kobe Bryant moments of all time. You got number 3, the Redeem Team. The Redeem Team was so great. I love what they did. You got Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, all the great players. And we played Spain. We got Pau Gasol, Marc Gasol. That was a back-and-forth game. And then Kobe Bryant took over in that fourth quarter, hit a crucial three-pointer and one to seal the game. That was the reason I liked that game, is because we battled. We were back and forth. And Kobe Bryant took over in that fourth quarter. I just love his demeanor in that fourth quarter, his hustle, his grit, his grind. Overall, everything about Kobe Bryant in that game is great. Legendary, not just another milestone on Kobe Bryant's career, Just all the Redeem Team, it was a great, well-coached team over there. Mike D'Antoni, Mike Krzyzewski. You got a group of guys that they played for Mike Krzyzewski. The hustle, grit, grind. And, yeah, that's third on my list. And number 4 for me. Number 4 for me, man, is when Matt Barnes tried to throw the ball at Kobe and Kobe didn't flinch. A lot of players would have backed up and like, come on, bro. But Kobe's like, okay, I ain't scared of you, Matt Barnes. What's happening? And it's crazy. Just that game, Matt Barnes and Kobe were going back and forth, playing physicality basketball. Because Matt Barnes dunked, got a put-back dunk over Kobe. Kobe, put his forearm out and then, was yelling to the ref, technical foul. And Kobe was what? Put his hands up. But, Kobe wasn't afraid of anything on the court. No type of fear was put in Kobe. People try to make it seem, people were trying to put fear in Kobe. But Kobe's like, nah, you ain't going to do that, man. You can throw the ball at me. I ain't going to flinch, bro. Just overall, Kobe Bryant wasn't scared of anything on the court. If you throw a great defender like back in the day in 2000, Ruben Patterson, the Kobe stepper. That didn't work. I see the Kobe and Michael Jordan. I could see they're basically the similar type of player. Michael Jordan's passionate, Kobe Bryant was passionate. And if you throw somebody that plays that tough defense, Michael Jordan's going to say, okay, I'm dropping 50. Same with Kobe. They play just alike. I don't care what anybody says. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have the similar game. There's a video of it where they put all the plays together, same exact plays. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is Kobe is a tough motherfucker. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna scare him. You know? You ain't gonna scare him. You know? If you try to talk mess, he likes competitive. So if you talk mess, he'll be like, okay, that thrives him. And people booing him, you know, that makes him more hungrier to show you, I'm gonna put up 30 pieces and hitting the game winner in your face. And shh, be quiet, fans. And there's actually 6 that I wrote down. So my number 5 all-time list is when Kobe shot free throws after he tore his Achilles. Because at first, when that play happened, when he blew by Harrison Barnes, I thought he got tripped. And then once he looked at Matt Barnes and said, did you, like, because he told the story about it, he asked Harrison Barnes, did you kick me? And he said no. And then once he said no, he knew it was a torn Achilles. But what was crazy, usually players that get injured like that would have to get carried off right there, boom, go in the locker room. But Kobe's like, hell no, I'm going to shoot these free throws. You know what I mean? He walked back to the locker room. Kobe Bryant walked back to the locker room after he shot those 2 free throws. You know, that's how legendary Kobe Bryant is. You know, he did everything to his ability to get the job done on the court. You know, he fought, like, after games, he'd be iced up. You know what I mean? There was a picture of Kobe with ice around his shoulders and his knees, and he just chilling on the bench. He did everything in his power to win. He didn't care how long he didn't care what it took. He did it. He fought through everything, man. I really like what Kobe did that game. You know, that was the year we were supposed to win the NBA championship with Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Ron Artest, Steve Blake. We got all those, but we didn't win it. It was because of the injuries of Kobe and stuff and Mike D'Antoni. What I'm trying to say is that defining moment, Kobe shooting those 2 free throws, walking off the court, was just another legacy moment from Kobe Bryant. You know, just another legacy from Kobe Bean Bryant. And my last one for my 6th one was Kobe Bryant's 60-point game. And here's the crazy thing. I said Kobe that game, or that day when it was exciting. Okay, Kobe Bryant's last game. Hopefully he's going to have a good game. I said 50 points. I was 10 off. I said 50 points. My brother and my cousin said 45 or 46. And it was crazy, man. 50 points. I predicted 50, but I was off by 10 points. But 60-point game is not surprising from Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? Because Shaq, a week before that he played his 60-point last game, he was like, hey, Kobe, you should drop 50 piece. And Kobe's like, yeah, I ain't doing that. And then he dropped 60. So it's another remarkable moment in Kobe Bryant's career. You know, like Michael Jordan in his last game didn't do good. You know what I mean? But Kobe dropped 60. That's just recipe for Kobe to drop 60 in his last game. That's not surprising. You know what I mean? That's just not surprising what Kobe does. You know what I mean? I thought he was going, I said 50, but like when he was going for 60 at the time, okay. And when he hit 60, I was like, go for 61 or try to go for 80. You know, it's your last game. You know, and that's the one thing I don't like about people that talk mess about Kobe. How you going, like for me, like when I was on Twitter at the time, people were saying, oh, Utah's letting him. Oh, he's taking too many shots. If it was my last game, I'll be taking all the shots. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care. Kobe Bryant's ability to get to the rim at ease. If you throw people on him, he's going to go by you. You know, 60-point game is a legendary game for Kobe. It's just another milestone in his legacy. You know? And that's the other thing, too. Kobe Bryant will get a statue outside of Staples Center. You can book it. You know? Like, if you ask me what statue would you take out, I would say Oscar De La Hoya. Put Kobe's right there where Oscar De La Hoya is. Or Wayne Gretzky. Boom. Kobe Bryant will get a statue at the Staples Center. You can book it. You can book it. You know what I mean? You can book Kobe Bryant getting a statue outside the Staples Center. You know what I mean? But with all this stuff going around with no basketball, no NBA, none of that, no NFL, no sports. But they are, speaking of NBA, I know I'm talking about Kobe right now, but NBA is talking about potentially doing horse competition where they're going to film it, put it on the internet. And I'm okay with that. Love it. And yeah, man. Now let's switch over. What era of basketball do I like? I really didn't watch the 90s or 80s, but I did watch the 2000s. That's when I became a Laker fan, was the 2000s because Kobe Bryant and Shaq and Kobe's demeanor on the court. But I say 2000s because you had Shaq, you had Kobe, you had all these great players, and it was physicality. I love the physicality. And in today's NBA, if you have a bad breath, you'll get thrown out. If you play that tough defense, you get thrown out. You know what I mean? If there's altercations, you get thrown out. But back then, if you get hard foul, side out. You know, don't cry. Don't cry to the ref. No. Back then in 2000s, there was a lot of physicality, a lot of altercations. You know what I mean? I just like physicality. The 2000 era was my favorite era to watch. You know what I mean? Because I really didn't watch the 80s or 90s. Right about 2000s, I started watching basketball. You know what I mean? Just loved it. Just love the physicality. You know, but in today NBA, if LeBron and Patrick Beverley get into it, you can get thrown out for saying, "Get off me, watch out." But back then, ball out. You know, it's like just like back then. I saw highlights of Kevin McHale and Kurt Rambis hard foul. I know they got ejected, but it's okay. It's part of basketball. There's gonna be physicality regardless of what type of sport: wrestling, baseball, NFL, any type of sport you play. It's gonna be physicality. So that's the reason I like the 2000s eras, because you had great people that played great defense. You had Shaq, you had Kobe, you had all these great players around the league at the time. Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady. That era was legendary. You know what I mean? That era, the 2000s was legendary for me, man. To be honest, I just miss that era of basketball. You know, like today's basketball, you could still play physical, but sometimes it's buddy. Let's go get something to eat after the game. Back then, it's okay. I have nothing to do with you until the summer. You know what I mean? Like, I just like that rivalry. There's not that much rivalry. All it is just buddy. Let's go get something to eat. I want to take some TikToks. I want to go on Instagram and have some swag. Back then, it's don't talk to me. Leave me alone. I don't know you. Like, nah. Like, today's NBA era, when it comes to being physical, is soft. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy? And I said it. I don't care. I keep it 100 on the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. I keep it 100. That's what I do. Today's NBA is soft. That's just my opinion. I don't care what people have to say. That's just my opinion, and I love what I do. So if you hate on it, keep it stepping, keep it moving. If you don't like what I say, you don't have to watch my show. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I mean? Today's NBA, when it comes to being physical, is soft. You know, you may have your Patrick Beverleys, Patrick Beverley that talk and can't score, and I just don't like today's NBA when it comes to playing physical, because you can't play physical in today's NBA. And everybody watching me live on Sportscast and listen to me on Anchor can agree with me. Today's NBA is soft. I don't care what anybody says, man. It's just crazy. I really liked. I don't know. I'm just excited. Hopefully the NBA comes back, man, because we need it, man. It's tough times right now, but I'm putting out more content for you guys. And I'm going to end this Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for watching live and listen to me on Anchor app, man. And follow me on my social media. Go follow me on Twitter, Big Baby Jonathan. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast. Go subscribe to my podcast on Apple Podcast. Like the podcast, leave a rate, leave a comment. Like my Facebook page, the Big Baby Jonathan Sports Podcast Show. And until then,